Story of Saints. November 17th is the feast day of Saint Gregory the Wonder Worker. Gregory was born around the year 213 in Neocaesarea Turkey to a pagan family. Shortly after his father passed away at the age of 14, Gregory and his brother went with his sister to Caesarea Palestine to attend a government appointment ceremony of her husband. Once in the city, the two brothers met an incredible Christian teacher named Origen. The two spent countless hours listening and debating with Origen about the faith, which eventually led to their baptism into the Catholic Church. The brothers spent 10 years until the age of 25 studying under Origen. Returning home at the age of 25, Gregory lived a humble life. Seeing his ascetic and pure way of life, many pagans at the time felt envious of his fortitude and attempted to discredit him. One time while Gregory was preaching in the city square, a harlot came up to him asking for payment for a sexual service he had allegedly performed with her. Gregory remained calm and asked the harlot if perhaps she mistook him for another person. After the harlot's insistence, Gregory asked a friend for money to pay her. Upon taking the unjust money, the harlot immediately fell into a demonic fit, revealing her fraud. Gregory prayed over her to cast out the demon within her, which marked the first of his many miracles to come. In another instance, hearing of Gregory's generosity with the poor, two con men approached him, one of them lying on the ground pretending to be death. His accomplice ran up to Gregory asking for money to bury his dead friend. Gregory did not have any money, so he took of his coat and tossed it over the dead man, telling the accomplice to sell it for money. When the coat was lifted up, the con artist found that his friend was dead. After accusations from the harlots and the con men, Gregory went into the desert seeking isolation, hoping to leave behind all the sins and debaucheries of the world. However, the saint would soon learn that God has a much greater plan for him. Around the age of 27, when the miracles of Gregory has spread throughout the land, he was appointed bishop of a small community in his hometown in Neocaesarea. At first, the saint refused the appointment, not believing that he was fit for the prestigious honor because of his mostly isolated life in the desert for the past few years. During this time, religions of Sabellius and Paul of Samosata began to spread, teaching heretical beliefs about the Holy Trinity. Gregory continued to pray for a more proper bishop to take care of his hometown, until one day, when the Virgin Mary and the Apostle John appeared to him. In a vision, Mary explained the doctrine of the Holy Trinity and convinced the saint to accept his position as bishop to carry out God's plan. When he finally stepped up to become bishop of Neocaesarea, he faced the challenge of converting a city which currently consisted of only 17 Christians. From that point until his death in 270 at the age of 57, Gregory performed many miracles through his prayers and devotion to the Virgin Mary and the Holy Trinity. In one recorded instance, Gregory prayed to Mary for space to establish a small church, and shortly afterward a large mountain was moved which enabled construction for a church. In another instance, a lake dried up overnight to help two brothers resolve a land dispute. In yet another miracle, Gregory stopped a flooding of the Icus River by planting a staff by the border which transformed into a large tree, stopping the flood. In addition to these supernatural feats, Gregory was also incredibly wise, offering spiritual guidance to the layman. Furthermore, Gregory hosted a variety of festivals honoring the saints and martyrs which work wonders in attracting curious pagans to the faith. The culmination of both his supernatural and human miracles earned the saint the nickname Wonder Worker, and by his death at the age of 57, from a city of only 17 Christians, his hometown now had only 17 heretics. Saint Gregory the Wonder Worker is the patron saint of protection against natural disaster for many of his supernatural miracles. He is also the personification of Mark 11 verse 23, "Whoever says to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen, it shall be done for him." Gregory did not completely trust in God. In fact, he even doubted his ability to be a bishop in his hometown. And yet when he took the first step and listened to the Virgin Mary and John the Apostle to becoming a bishop, God grants him countless miracles beyond imagination to aid in his cause. Let us learn to completely put our trust in God, just like Saint Gregory the Wonder Worker did today, so that through our little faith, we can be an instrument of God's wonderful works. In order to continue learning about a new saint every day, click the subscribe button below and ring the bell to turn on your notification. Thank you, and may God be with you always.